Nation, welcome back to the channel.
Champions.
Yes. So today we have a fascinating topic to explore. The age-old debate of real estate versus Bitcoin as a long-term investment. We'll talk about the pros and cons of both options, and we hope that this helps you with making an informed decision if you're someone who is dabbling, or how would you say, dipping your toes in the arena of hard asset investments. Is that what you refer to it as?
Hey, money on my mind, money on my mind.
All right. But before we go any further, ladies and gentlemen, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. Turn on that notification bell
Choo choo.
so that you can stay informed on all the juice, all the greatness that drops out of our faces or our channel, if you will. Absolutely incredible. Double up.
Champion.
Let's get going, man. Real estate.
Yep.
Talk to us.
Let's jump right into the pro, man. Someone like me, with the old money mindset, always. Right. I've been thinking of getting back into the real estate market.
You have?
I mean, I have one now. I'm trying to make investment type moves,
Okay,
like buying properties, not
Absolutely.
just the one that I live in, like churning revenues.
Oh, okay.
I sold my property once, to go
Churning it.
invest in another business.
Yeah.
That business failed. So I'm trying to get back into the business. I've been researching, like, should I be buying a lot more properties or should I be buying more Bitcoin?
Hey, I think when you're looking at real estate, right, this thing has some benefits. Obviously, it's one of those ones that have been going on and on for a very long time. Everyone aspires to be a real estate guru of some sort one day. This has been the classic investment choice, if you will.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
it has some benefits to it. For example, real estate offers that potential for long-term appreciation.
Yeah.
When you talk about old money, okay, this means over time, these properties which you purchase will either increase in value, resulting in substantial capital gains, or if you're more into
I saw capital gains and I thought taxes.
hey, listen,
Unless
it's
you
called
don't-
capital gains because they will tax it. Okay, now.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah,
We're talking
taxes,
about the
taxes, yeah, taxation is tough, but we'll push on there. Alternatively, it could be a cash flow situation when we're talking about real estate, right? And this cash flow is a big advantage. This is a situation where you have some rental properties that are generating consistent revenue
Yep.
or consistent income.
Yep.
If you will.
You want to at least get like, $500 every month off each property, minimum.
Yes.
Minimum.
Exactly. So, of course, this is after your expenses and maintenance and so on and so forth.
You can actually do the Airbnb approach, but that's under attack right now. And there's the actual owning the property or actually paying part of it and having the bank invest in the property.
Yeah.
And you can make money through that way as well. A lot of people do that.
Now, like Double O mentioned earlier, if you're someone who has that mindset, like Double O here, always ready to invest, always ready to look into some stuff, then real estate serves actually as a means of diversification amongst your portfolio of other great ideas, Sabi.
Commercial, rental, Airbnbs.
Right.
You can also do farming, land.
Hey.
Or you can do stocks, do it through the REITs.
Yeah.
Do it directly with the
This
companies.
is true. You can do it through the REITs as the
we
REIT
already
stocks
tried.
as well.
We already did fundraise.
Yeah.
We had to
Well,
exit.
well, we sold all of the fund. Well, at least I sold all of my fundraise and put it to Bitcoin now.
They will not
Okay.
allow me to exit all of my fundraise, by the way.
Yes, that money was not growing at a steady pace. It was not growing at a pace that was up. Listen, I get it. People were like, "Oh, well,
It
long
worked.
term." Listen, man,
It worked for a while, but it just wasn't building inflation.
the money looked like a stone. I was just staring at it.
It's not moving.
No hard feelings to fundraise. Now, of course, you can also leverage. So you could also leverage and amplify gains. right? So essentially, maybe borrowing against
Against
the
it,
real
yep.
estate and so on and so forth.
That's literally how people grow in the space. You take the appreciation of one house, and then you used to buy another house, and then
Absolutely.
you fatten your debt.
You fatten the debt fattening. Well, as they say, with every story, there's two sides.
Yes, sir.
There is the lie. There is wait. Oh, Jesus.
Don't start with a lie. There's a fact.
There is one person's side, the
Yeah.
other person's side, and then there's a truth in between
Yes, sir.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when it comes to the downsides of this real estate, okay, managing real estate requires time, effort, and of course,
Especially if your property is in the hood.
yeah. Hey, listen, man. You never know. Sometimes it's not even hood people. It could be people in a suburbious neighborhood
Oh, that don't want to pay rent.
who cannot follow simple rules. Okay.
Suburbium. I like that term.
Hey, suburbious. Oxford. You guys better not steal this term. You heard it here first. I can coin this thing. Okay. So, of course, maintenance. Right. There's also another aspect of this. And of course, real estate is less liquid than stocks or bonds. Selling a property can take time for sure.
Sure. Selling, the taxes after selling. The biggest part of the selling is that, man, they're coming for you, man.
Yeah.
Especially in this kind of market with the high interest rates.
I mean, if you also think about it, BlackRock bought a ton of houses. At any point in time, they could, dump those. Let me. While we're here, let me just point out something. Do you remember what blockbusting was in the real estate market back in the day in Washington D.C., where they would take a group of like a black family,
Yep.
and then introduce them to, listen, there is evil people out here. I'm not the type of person to sit here and say America is racist, because I do not believe that. But there is some evil people.
Money mongers.
Yes, people will do very nasty things for the sake of money.
Yep. Happened to my cousin, though. Literally, they came to the block and they
Yeah.
said, hey, we're going to pay you guys $200K more for your land, for your houses. A lot of these black people sold. And guess what happened?
No. This is a reverse situation. This is what happens. They will go to a white neighborhood.
Yep.
They will take a black family, one family, introduce them to the white neighborhood, right?
Yep.
Then the real estate agents go to the white families in that neighborhood and tell them, like, listen, the black people have recognized this area. They're coming in droves.
Yeah.
The white people panic, and then sell their houses for a loss. Because what happens is they tell them, like, oh, these black people are coming in droves, right? So now they convince this person to sell one person to sell their house below market value, and then the whole neighborhood starts dropping below. Then they really start bringing those black families and selling the houses to them for a profit over what they've gotten all of those other people to. So you see, it's not really a white or black thing.
Wow.
It is a bunch of greedy people who are ready to slaughter anyone in their path as long as they get your money.
The one that happened to my cousin was gentrification. They got all the black people to leave the neighborhood. Luckily, my cousin had enough money stored to pay for the high taxes.
Yeah.
The moment all the black people left, the neighborhood popped up. You have
white
Wegmans down the streets. You have
So it's a reversal of the
Awful.
same sort of game, right? Like they are playing white people who think that they are posh and whatever else, right? Or think they're too good to live around black people, and they're playing it both sides. Like, listen, wake up and smell the roses, people. Okay, so without further ado, then let's push on straight into Bitcoin.
Chewy.
Because we want to take a comparison. And by the way, we were going to share a little story here about what was happening in Hawaii with the
Hawaii.
landowners,
Yeah.
where we see that the leadership
Of the nation.
is now putting people out of their houses after such a catastrophe, not even allowing people to go back to their land
Getting arrested
after the fires.
in a house that they think they own.
Exactly. So things like this, but you don't have an army, right? You don't have soldiers. These people go to, which we'll skip that topic there. But that's something to just
I have to say that it's funny that Twitter deleted the video, because the poor old lady was crying that she's paid for the house. It's her house, but she's not allowed back into her land, into her house. She's getting arrested.
Yes, this is what is happening, and I think this is only going to be getting worse. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about Bitcoin now then. Let's shift our focus onto Bitcoin, the digital darling investment of the world.
Like how you call it, darling.
Yeah, it's a digital darling, right?
Darling, tell that to CNBC.
CNBC, consists of a bunch of old quacks, man. Old men and women over in that place. Their education is outdated. Sure. That's what I'm saying.
Difference between self-educated and centralized education.
Internet educated, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing you learn in Harvard that I cannot learn on Google, ChatGPT, or many of these other things out here.
Tell them.
What you really have is network. I'll give you that one.
Yep.
But this also tells us then that it's not your degree that gets you into where you're going to. It's who you know.
Yep.
Madness. Anyway, Bitcoin has shown this potential for high returns. Obviously, the human race has never seen anything that has risen in price like Bitcoin has. Have they?
No.
Okay. Well, the returns, we've seen significant increased appreciation over the years. Especially, this thing started at a few cents. Yet here we are today, struggling just to get to 1 Bitcoin.
It's so darling. It's doing better than Berkshire Hathaway.
Okay. Here's the cream of the crop. The kicker. Limited supply.
21.
You only have 21 million.
21.
It's a deflationary asset which can create upward pressure as demand grows.
BlackRock.
If you combine that on top of what they call the halving,
grayscale,
you see that this thing is about to put the foot down on the gas pedal.
On some people's neck.
It is easily divisible. It is easy to transport. Okay? You can custody it yourself. No intermediaries needed. And the whole world is just learning about this right now.
It can catch fire and they can tell you can access it.
You see, what is really important about this 21 million supply thing, okay, is that if you look at our current system, the levers of demand and supply are in the hands of the same person.
Centralized powers.
Okay, we've seen them talk about job demand destruction. Literally, these people can pull both levers to affect supply or demand. That is insanity.
See what's going on with the interest rates?
Yes. This is where the beautiful design of Bitcoin comes in. There is only one lever which we can manipulate, and that is the demand. The supply will never be more than 21 million.
Can shift it.
Okay. Now, we also have to talk about the decentralization aspect of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's decentralization means it's not controlled by any single entity, government, or potentially. What did you say?
It's not stuck to the ground.
Yeah,
like
it's
a
not
house.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not stuck to the ground, right? It's not controlled by any one entity or government, right? Which is what allows it to preserve that value. Okay.
And like a house,
yes,
it requires energy to be created.
Work, proof of work.
Proof of work.
Absolutely. So, some investors view Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, similar to gold due to its fixed supply. But realistically, this is what the gold box would say. Gold does not have a fixed supply. Its supply has continuously expanded over the... How are people still getting more gold?
Bro, just go to Africa. That's the answer.
Okay. There is still gold out there. So...
Lots and lots of it.
It seems that this thing is a superior asset. But Bitcoin is not without its cons. 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 Dang. Cons. I feel like I cannot pronounce. How do you pronounce it?
Cons.
Cons.
Cons. Yeah,
cons.
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 What? Cons could be cons.
Cons. It's cons. Yeah. Pros and cons. Cons. You know which word we're saying? Okay. Anyway, Bitcoin is not without its cons, right?
Yeah.
One of those is this idea that is highly volatile. I said this idea that is highly volatile, like it's an idea.
It is volatile.
Right? Well, listen, man. What can we say? Volatility is good and bad. You need volatility as well to make money. So I think, it's just one of those things. What are your thoughts on that?
People used to say it was a tulip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it was a tulip, then it would not be volatile. It
It's
would
just true.
just be going up.
Let me point out something. A lot of analysis that we do today, us ourselves included, okay, it's heavily built on history because of this idea that history rhymes,
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah, it might repeat itself.
might repeat itself. However, let me point out one thing that is never spoken about. The first time history happens is the first time history happens. Right? Because, and it's just that simple, because I don't know any other way to think about it. The creation of Bitcoin, what can you look at historically to be like, this is something that will happen?
We can only relate it to other economic instances, like the first recession with Bitcoin, the first,
No, like, there's never been a time, like, let's say, actually, sorry, you can actually relate that to something.
Yeah, we can say the first time, like the Bretton Woods Agreement, when the dollar came in, and what happened to the dollar after that, and eventually the destruction of the dollar.
Yeah, the destruction of the dollar, going from seashells to other things and things like that.
To coins, yeah.
But I think the point I'm driving at here is that never in human history has there been an asset like Bitcoin, where at the same time, it's able to fulfill so many aspects of money at the same time, right?
Yep.
Being divisible, being a solid store of value, you can self-custody the thing, really provides this financial sovereignty, if you will, right?
Yep.
It's also not controlled by any one entity.
I think that's the biggest difference in any other currency
Right?
that ever been created.
Exactly. And so we cannot look back to history to see a point in time when something like that has happened before. So Bitcoin itself is really unfolding history. We're all living through it for the first time.
Just the fuck around and find out.
Yeah. To the maximum. Of course, now, the other side of it is real estate. When you look at it compared to Bitcoin, is that real estate has this potential, this ability to provide steady revenue or steady income.
Until you F around and found out 2008 financial crisis. They're telling us right now that they're trying to destroy the real estate market because of BlackRock has bought in too much real estate. So tell me which one is more volatile.
That is true.
Have you ever held the Tesla stock? You want to see volatility?
So then actually, so what you're saying then there is, if you look at it in some ways, it's like you could invest in real estate.
Yeah.
But realistically, your potential for earning is dependent on these people at the
External
top
factors.
who have both levers, and
Yes.
they might decide that, you know what, we want real estate to go up this month or this year.
Yep.
And so they just keep buying and buying to drive that price up. And at the same time, these people, so really realistically, despite your research, no matter what you do, like, oh, this is a great area, I'm going to buy this house here, I think that there's going to people who are going to come through for Airbnb, etc. All of your research, despite the fact that it is legit, is irrelevant. Because even if you do legit research and then BlackRock decides to sell everything in that area,
You're screwed.
you're screwed.
Ask those that bought houses in Arizona, in Florida during the COVID crisis.
Okay.
Oh, or ask those that tornadoes and Mother Nature comes for their houses.
Exactly. In other words, then, we do not have a free market, is what it sounds like.
Nope.
Okay. Now, another aspect that we can look at here is just the regulatory aspects. But listen, realistically, man, regulations are really going Bitcoin's way. Okay.
Regulations are for crypto.
Yeah, regulations is for crypto. Regulations
Not
is
for
really
Bitcoin.
So let's talk about some considerations before we conclude here. Double up.
Yes, sir.
Which is a better long-term investment, real estate or Bitcoin?
I really do think that it depends on your risk appetite or your knowledge of Bitcoin.
Okay.
If you have not studied Bitcoin or you don't know what Bitcoin is, I recommend that you do.
Yeah.
So that when you do, you start realizing, wait a second, do I really need to sweat my brains out and worry about tenants and worry about regulations and worry about what BlackRock is doing when I can get an asset that is literally not controlled by one central authority?
Yeah.
There is a push though by BlackRock and Grayscale and those guys to have control of that space. But they don't have control of the specific technology itself and the sovereignty that it provides you and your assets. So think about it. It's okay to own real estate if you still want to be attached to the fiat system.
I mean, you have to be attached to the fiat system. That's really what we're mostly operating on right now.
Yeah.
So
you need a shelter over your head.
follow the money.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Yeah, but definitely Bitcoin.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, listen. In the end, we think both Bitcoin and real estate have their merits and their risk. In this case, I think the risk with Bitcoin is significantly lower. Because at the end of the day, a lot of times it's about risk management. Risk management is really everything. So the key is to conduct your research, especially understand Bitcoin for sure. Understand your goals and see how you place yourself, strategically place yourself to be better, benefit from your Bitcoin investments, if you will. Seek advice if you need it. We are always available. You can hit us up on Twitter, and we'll share many, many resources with you to guide you on your path to understanding the Bitcoin economy that is coming up. It's really what it is.
Yeah, you have to think about the future.
Yeah.
In the future where they starting to tell us that you will own nothing and be happy. What do you want to own as everything slowly become digitized?
Social engineers, man. Mad people. Remember, there is no one size fits all. But I'll tell you this, value fits all of us. This is why Bitcoin fits all of us.
Yep.
So, with that then, understand your financial situation and make moves that best align with your life, if you will. Anything else, sir?
That's it. The future is here.
Right.
Money is changing.
Whether you want it or not. I am so freaking happy how far Bitcoin has come. I remember when we started doing these things, man. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, please subscribe.
Push that button. Be a champion.
This is how all the blessings come your way if you subscribe to the channel.
Blessings, looking like the pastor now.
In Jesus' name. Okay? Don't make me pick up my Bible. Because if I flip to Matthew chapter
You don't even know what verse.
10, verses 82.
There's 82 verses in Matthew.
I went with 82 because I know that nobody's going to be able to find it. You see that it says there, okay, that if you found this information helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, okay, for more Bitcoin insights as this economy evolves. Also, be sure to do your due diligence. By that, we really just mean understand Bitcoin, okay?
Yep. Don't go and buy that paper Bitcoin, please.
All right.
And don't buy Bitcoin cash.
And may your investments be successful. Do you have anything else you want to add?
That's it, bro.
Follow us, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends. Follow us on X especially. Our North Star is coming pretty soon here. Until next time, present out.
Champions. Double O out.